I'm taking the dog for a walk, so this may get a little rocky because it's more of a pull than a walk. Let me show you this big, massive bear dog man, bear pig, bear wolf. I don't know. The signs are all around you that you're ready, and that's why you're here with me. So welcome. I want to talk about virtue signaling and infighting in groups of all kinds, right? Like, I don't care if you consider yourself a liberal or a socialist or an anarchist or even somebody from MAGA or a Republican or a Democrat. Like, those labels just don't matter here. They're rooted in the current world. And I think it's us all trying to find our place, to have a word to describe what we want. And I think what's even more important than a word to label where we are or what we're trying to do is sharing our dreams. Because I'll tell you, when I sit at a table with someone who considers themselves the opposite political party as me, and I talk about what they see as the problem and what they envision as the solution or the vision of a future, those things are really the same. It's how we get there that we're arguing about. And it's not really worth arguing about. But let me give you an example. My last relationship, I was in a relationship with someone whose family was very Republican. And I would call them country Republican, probably more like libertarian. I don't know. Again, labels, but this like keywords for the algorithm. That's why I'm saying the things. We would sit at the dinner table and we would talk about, and I have to give you context of who I am. I was working as a public school teacher at the time, doing transformative work with kids, empowering them on how to access the political system, quite honestly, like how to share their story with politicians and go down to the state capitol and like rally or, when you go, you give testimony. Thank you. You give testimony for new laws, and they were mostly we were operating around education, but some immigration rights as well. Whoop, son. So, sitting at the table with family, right? This is my family. This is my partner's family. That's so important to him. And we had to find the connection points. So I'd sit with them and we'd talk about unhoused people. And we would all agree that it was a really big problem. We'd talk about what we wish unhoused people had, which was homes and care. But it was the politics of how we got there that we didn't necessarily see eye to eye on. And that's okay, because no one had a solution other than their thinking in the current system. So when we were in Colorado, so the mayor in Denver gave, they did this experiment where they were like, we'll give like a living wage to unhoused people just to see what happens. Because that will help us to know what people really need and how they'll really use it, right? If you really give somebody who's unhoused $2,000 a month, are they just gonna like buy drugs with it? Or are they gonna like use it to help themselves? Like, let's just see. Let's just run an experiment. And in certain political parties, they were like, rah, I'm so angry at this. You're giving my money away to somebody else who's not worked for it. And that's not fair. And then other political parties was like, we have to care for each other and we want to care for each other. And this is one of the ways that we can do this, by redistributing money to people who really need it. And I'm not saying one side is right. I'm not saying one side is wrong. I am saying that they could both see that unhoused people was a problem. And they both wanted a solution, but how we got there was like what we couldn't agree on. And then they just start fighting with each other. Well, you're wrong. No, I'm right. No, we should do it this way. We should build them houses. We should give them medical care. Well, they already have free medical care. but that medical care isn't enough, and they don't have access to things they genuinely need, like mental health services and the things that can help them to handle the like core root issue of why they are unhoused, right? Which is usually, friend, it's usually mental health. I think that's just a thing. I don't think it's truth. I think there are people that struggle with addiction, but if you really look at addiction, behind addiction is a need for mental health services. You're only reaching out to a substance to soothe or calm or numb because the world feels like too much, because you don't have the coping skills. You haven't been taught how to, I'm going to use the word down regulate, but essentially like make yourself feel calm and gentle and still inside. You've been taught those things. And so you're like, I need that so much. But no one can teach me. No one can show me. And when I don't have a community of care, and the only option I have is the earth, and the earth is going to give me a substance, and that substance I'm going to maybe use too much of because the world just feels like too much. So there are other things, right? There's other reasons why people become unhoused. There's PTSD. There's just a desire to connect with nature. Like there are people who are like choosing to be unhoused. And that's like definitely where people go up in arms of like, if you are choosing to be unhoused, how can I help you? And you're just leeching off of the system and you're just taking from other people's hands. I'm really tired of the argument. And I hope that if you have found yourself here, you are also really tired of that argument. And it's like, babes, I don't care. I don't care about any of that. What I want to do is I want to help people. I want to watch unhoused people live their best life, which could look like a lot of different things. And that's the other thing is we're often channeling them into one thing, where they have to get a job and they have to live in a house. Maybe some people need to live in nature. All right, I'm going to speak a little bit closer. Oh, that's too close. There's somebody sawing things. So let me pause and I'll come back to you. Okay, they done. So that's the thing, friend. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about your political affiliation. I don't care about where you come from in your life. I care that we can see the same problem and that we have a vision of the future that is aligned, and then that we're open to process, that we can be in a place of collaboration with one another, right? You see something I don't see. You think it's a problem that we're distributing money because you think they should be giving the resource of a house. Or you think that they should be given access to jobs. Like, okay, great. Show me how I can make that access happen. Maybe you have a network of people that are able to do the job and the career coaching and the resume building, or you know somebody who has a job that needs to be filled that one of these people could connect with, right? Like, that's how we tap into the global network, the World Wide Web of humanity, which is like currently living in technology. And we are starting our socials and our Discord here soon, so I'll link those around here once those are up. And if you are interested in doing this and like learning more, you can follow me here, as well as on Substack, which is the only other platform that I am on. And so if you see this anywhere else, it's been bogarted or whatever, which is fine. Like, people steal things and take them and put them, but like it spreads the message wider. So I'm not gonna like give permission to the universe to steal the things, but like when we think our intellectual property is more valuable than the knowledge, and we're here to just protect information and I love this street. Monetize knowledge. Like, knowledge should be shared freely, and we're all part of the collective consciousness. You know, like, people are gonna have the same ideas as you. You can't be mad about that. Be inspired by that. It tells you that you're on to something, that other people are sparking the same idea at the same time, and they're coming to you with solutions and tweaks and things. They're not replacing you. They're not making you like not have a space in the market or whatever bullshit we've been like taught because of scarcity, right? If we're in the garden, here, come look at this garden with me. If we're in this garden, each of these plants has a place. And they each, like, they might have seeds that are just a little bit different because of the amount of light that they got in one space or the amount of water they got in one space. But you'll have, you know, all of these things that are just like a tiny little bit different, but they've this like next generation of seed has something the last generation didn't have in its like DNA. And that's how evolution happens, right? We cross-pollinate. We gotta fucking cross-pollinate. Ah! All right, you ready for cross-pollination? Let's do it. Message me, DM me, subscribe, do the things. I so deeply, if you're still here, hi. Oh, yeah. I feel your heart, and I really want to connect with you. Send me a DM if you made it all the way to this point in the video. Love and adore you. Let's come find each other. Let's create that web. I'll see you soon.